Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Northern Kentucky Spotlight podcast powered by CKREU. I'm your host, Sarah Brookbank. Today on the podcast, we are joined by Ryan Bihl of the Erlanger Business Council. He chats about how you can join our newest business council and shares the details about our business council annual dinner celebration happening in May. We are also joined by Marcus O'Malley of Caring Excellence. He talks about their services and how they're supporting local families through high-quality caregiving. Thank you to our podcast sponsor, CKREU, Google and Amazon advertising experts. Now let's go hear from our sponsor, meet our members of the week, and Katie and I will be back with this week's guests.
Ranking on Google Search and Maps is easy to understand, but hard to do. It requires constant effort and attention, uploading new photos, responding to Google reviews, writing weekly posts, and checking suggested updates. Google listing optimization takes experience and time, and there are no shortcuts. CKREU gives your Google My Business account the steady, consistent attention it needs to be effective, optimizing, updating, and expanding critical content every single week. From local retail stores to large regional networks, CKREU generates content, establishes benchmarks, and creates dramatic, measurable increases in engagement. So what can CKREU do for your business? More calls, more clicks, more clients.
Congratulations to our members of the week. You can learn more about these businesses by following the Northern Kentucky Chamber on social media, where we will highlight one of these businesses each day. Now, let's meet our members of the week. Founded in 1819, the University of Cincinnati is a premier urban public research university serving 53,000 students. Shinhua is a global solutions provider addressing manufacturing challenges through comprehensive engineering, manufacturing, and international trade capabilities. The mission of the Northern Kentucky Children's Advocacy Center is to provide a coordinated response to concerns of child abuse in a child-focused environment, offering evaluation, treatment, and prevention to children and families. Skanska uses knowledge and foresight to shape how people live, work, and connect. With more than 135 years of experience, they are one of the world's largest construction companies. Elemento is a full-service marketing and brand agency specializing in strategy, creative, and packaging that helps businesses stand out and grow with purpose.
Hi, everybody. It's Katie Forcade, and I'm here today with Ryan Bihl, who is the chair of the Erlanger Business Council. It's so nice to have you here today with us, Ryan.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Now, tell me a little bit about the business councils in general and just the importance of being a part of it, especially from a city perspective.
Yeah, sure. The business councils, there's 4 of them in 4 different cities, Erlanger, Florence, Newport, and Fort Thomas, that are part of the chamber, where if you're a chamber member, you can be a member of these 4 councils as well. Heritage Bank is who I work for. I'm a commercial lender for Heritage and a vice president, and we were on the forefront of these councils in Florence and Fort Thomas. And then recently Newport and Erlanger came along, and I was asked to chair the Erlanger Business Council.
That's awesome. Oh my goodness. Now, how is this going to impact and affect and just benefit the Erlanger business community?
Yeah, it's really just a way for Erlanger businesses, not only businesses, nonprofits, civic organizations, stuff like that, to work together and have their voice heard, not only locally, but the chamber does such a good job of representing its constituents in the state level and even in the federal level as well. So Erlanger in particular, where I serve as chair, the Erlanger businesses can get together and collaborate on different issues they may have, or they may just pass business back and forth. That's one of the things I see the most, is the businesses meet other businesses, and nonprofits meet other sponsors and work together, to help collaborate and improve the economy in the region.
Awesome. So it kind of serves as a little bit of a connector for a lot of different businesses and organizations, which is really cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, for businesses looking to get involved, how can they do so?
I'd have everybody, anybody who wants to be involved, go to the website, and there's details on there. We have a meeting next Tuesday, and all the meeting dates are on the website, but there's different meeting types we have. We have lunch meetings. Sometimes we have business roundtables. Sometimes we have a speaker. The next one is the mayor of Erlanger, Jessica Fetty. And Jessica will be doing a State of the City talk. There's also, like I mentioned, business roundtables, and there's some fun things. We do some happy hours sometimes, stuff like that too, just
That's
to
awesome.
put the fun in networking a little bit. But yeah, all the details are on the website. And I would add that if a company is already, or your company is already a chamber member, you can be a member of these councils as well. You don't necessarily have to be based out of Erlanger or Florence. In our particular case, we're not going to check your ID at the door. If you live or work in a different city, you're more than welcome to participate and come to one of our meetings.
That's awesome. Now, something exciting coming up, the Business Council Celebration Dinner coming up in May at some point. We're going to be recognizing a lot of different businesses with that dinner. Talk about just the importance of recognizing a business in Erlanger for this.
Yeah, this is great. We had several nominations for businesses that have a great impact on the community. And we will be awarding, I don't know who that will be yet, we'll be awarding a business, with a nice presentation and get some good publicity. The 4 business councils come together for this. And last year they had a really great speaker. I'm not sure who the speaker is this year offhand, but I'm sure it'll be dynamic. And the businesses that'll be recognized, hopefully, will be very appreciative of the recognition.
Definitely. Are you looking forward to anything with that? Are you going yourself?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's good to have the collaboration, even though, I see the Erlanger folks all the time. It's good to collaborate with the other areas as well. Fort Thomas, Newport, and Florence, who I have friends in each of those areas. And there's also opportunities for growth and for collaboration between those councils as well.
Definitely. Any exciting things happening in Erlanger coming up, or even with Heritage Bank that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, we Heritage Bank just got awarded the SBA Lender of the Year by Alloy Development. We were recognized at a luncheon up at the Sharonville Convention Center maybe a month ago or so.
Awesome.
I was really happy about that. We do, we were also featured, our CEO, David Wallace, was featured in the Business Courier for that award as well. And in Erlanger, I live in Erlanger and I'm a walker. I walk about every night, and there's a new walking park coming called Eons. I think I'm downplaying it a little bit. There's hiking and different things as well, but the Eons Park I'm really excited about. I grew up near the Erlanger Cinemas, and it's near that area, which now the Erlanger Cinemas is an industrial park and is great for the city. But I'm really excited about the Eons park
That does sound
going
nice.
up. Yeah.
I like walking myself, so I totally get having like a nice new park to sit up in. Awesome, Ryan. Anything else I have missed asking that you'd like to share for the greater good?
I don't think so. I think folks can just go to the website and see the upcoming meetings that we have. Again, Jessica Fetty's speaking next week, and then I'm sure there's other meetings coming up. I think there's the business dinner we talked about, the collaboration, and then I believe we'll have some roundtables coming up as well too.
Awesome. Good times. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right.
Hi, everyone. Today on the podcast, I am joined by Marcus O'Malley of Caring Excellence. Marcus, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thanks so much for having me on.
I'm also excited to have you on. You guys are up here in Northern Kentucky. Caring Excellence has a footprint across the state, though. But jump right in. Tell us a little bit about the services you offer in the areas you serve.
Yeah, so what I really like to tell people at the beginning is, we try to do, or we can do everything that you can do, but can't do. So our team will step in, and what I really want to see people do is get those memories with mom and dad. Sit down at lunch, go to coffee with them, let us do the laundry, let us do the dishes, let us help mom and dad get in and out of the shower, get shaved, get ready for the day. Let us do those things around the house that allows you to go over and not have to do those things. But spend time with mom, spend time with dad, tell the stories, watch the game, really have that quality time with them at this season of life that's challenging, and let our team do some of the things in the background. So we can do all the day-to-day operations and even some of the, non-medical, but we can help with making sure they took medicine, making sure if they do have bags or anything that needs to be cleaned, if they are using adult diapers, our team can help clean and take care of them and do some of those things around the house for them.
Yeah, so you guys are providing like hands-on caregiving service at home. So especially for people where their parents are aging, it's not quite time to send them to a facility where they need full-time care. Tell us a little bit about like that area that you play in, because there are so many different types of services for aging adults.
Absolutely. And we can walk along the entire journey with them from just a couple of hours a week, helping with some basic things, basic needs, up to 24-hour care at home. So we can provide around the clock service. We can also walk with them on that journey of moving into an independent living, moving into assisted living. Before they're at that next stage, we can save them time, sometimes in years and thousands of dollars before they have to jump to the next stage in their journey. Our team can come in, help them around the house, help them around the facility, and give them that time and companionship that they want and need in that time.
Yeah, and like you said, taking that burden off of the children in that situation, as someone who has had aging grandparents, I know that that is really a burden. And we talk a lot about, especially here at this chamber, the sandwich generation, the adults that are taking care of their parents and the adults that are taking care of their children. Tell us a little bit about how that caregiving that you guys provide can support those families.
Absolutely. So, with the sandwich generation, right? You're cooking for your own family, you're taking kids to soccer practice, that finishes, you got to run over to mom and dad's house. Those are little windows. And, like I was saying before, you don't want that bitterness to grow. You don't want that. Obviously, you love your mom and dad. Obviously, you want to help them and be there around the house, but you don't need to only do those things. And so we can help relieve that, help them stay connected. I can't tell you how many stories of children that we meet, and they're just tired. They're just wore out. They love their mom and dad. They love their grandma or grandfather, but we can give them that gap, give them that rest that they need, and fill in. It can also be things on vacation and trips. It gives you that peace of mind of having somebody there, makes mom and dad feel comfortable. They've got somebody in the house helping them. Sometimes the caregiver is the spouse, and that can be a burden and a challenge. And so we can come alongside them, be that helping hand in some of those hard situations or uncomfortable situations.
Yeah, you guys are definitely filling a gap that a lot of families are seeing a need right now. One of the things I also want to talk about, you guys are family owned. The company was actually founded by your mother-in-law, which I love. Tell us a bit about how that benefits you guys, that you guys are family owned, you guys have this footprint across the state.
Yeah, so Kayla is the founding, my mother-in-law. She was actually an RN in Louisville at the hospital, so she has a lot of that medical background. My sister-in-law, Elizabeth, launched it with her. She is a master's degree social worker. So we've got a ton of domain knowledge, a ton of people that really have the experience in the medical field, really understand the need and the care. So that's a huge benefit. I often joke, my superpower is my naivety. I lost my mom 4 years ago. I did not know what hospice was. I did not know what end-of-life care looked like. But I learned that the hard way. And so I can walk that journey with the people that are facing what I face. Without that history and all of that knowledge, I know what they're going through. And so that combination, my wife has also worked for my mother-in-law for a number of years. So she knows the industry. She knows how to help. She knows how to care for people. And so I think that combination really helps us holistically care for our clients. We've got the experience and we've got the people that have walked this road. They can really hold their hand and understand the struggle it is when you're suddenly faced with having to care for mom or dad.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds like it really lets you guys have a lot of control over, hiring and different things like that. I know you wanted to talk about how you guys are hiring these caregivers.
We do. So we're not a franchise. And so that gives us a lot of flexibility, not only just with branding and things like that, but our approach to everything that we do. And so because we're not a franchise, we can actually pay a little better than most caregiving organizations in the state. So we pay higher, but that doesn't come out of our clients' pockets. We're actually not one of the more expensive caregiving agencies. So we really focus on character. We really think about in our interview process, is this somebody I would put in front of my mom and dad? Is this somebody I would put in place of caring for my grandma or grandfather? And really invest in the character and really not necessarily experience, while that's valuable. You may have been in that career for a number of years without really actually caring. And so we're really seeking people that genuinely care about our seniors and can display that and show that to us before hiring them.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. Like you said, it's your parents, it's your grandparents, it's the people that you love. You want them to be in a home where they're safe and taken care of.
Absolutely, and that's critical to us. That's our business, is being a trustworthy organization. And so, I would rather have less clients and really focus on hiring and holding ourselves to the highest standard when it comes to hiring caregivers.
Yeah, well, we really love to hear that. And so when you're looking at the service area here in Northern Kentucky, what area do you service the whole area? Do people across the river? Can they get these services? What's your footprint?
Yeah, so we're only licensed currently for the state of Kentucky. So we stay on this side of the bridge. We do cover, of course, the big three counties, but we do actually go down into, we've got a few clients in Grant County and that area. And we have a nice little triangle. We've got a Lexington office and a Louisville office. So we do actually go a lot farther, deeper into the state than probably a lot of the Northern Kentucky and Cincinnati based organizations are. So we are able to help either, between the Louisville office, Lexington office, and ourselves, cover a pretty good footprint.
Yeah, that makes it really nice. And then, so for people who are dealing with caregiving at home, or they can kind of see the writing on the wall or up on the horizon, what are some things that you think people need when they're having these conversations? What are like the top 3 concerns you think people need to start thinking about?
Yeah, I think one, don't wait for the fall. The fall will come. It's just the reality of kind of the season of life and things. A lot of people wait until after. There's a lot of things that we can do, and we can come in and talk to you even before services about how do we reduce fall risk, how do we keep your home safe. There's things that they can do in the home. So don't wait for the incident to start things. This generation is awesome. I love them. I think they're so tough and they are so independent. However, they are so tough and they are so independent. And so there are little ways that we can come alongside and help make this a little bit more of a more comfortable transition. Could be that we cover somebody on a vacation and in a short-term stint. It could be that we come in small shifts. We have no minimums, and so we really do allow flexibility to come in for a short couple of hours a week type of thing. Build that confidence, build that reliability, build that trust, and we work with people in that process to kind of take it a step at a time.
Yeah, big things to think about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then so for people who are interested, how do they get in touch? What's the best way to get this process started with you guys?
Yeah, so they can go to our website. My wife and I share our cell phones. We're a 24-hour business. Obviously, our care is 24-hour. And things happen. Life happens. It comes at you fast in these seasons of life. So we get, texts and emails late at night. It's like, hey, we need help. What do we do? We want to be a resource for people, so we can talk you through it. Even if you end up going into a facility or things like that, we want to be a resource for people in Northern Kentucky. So they can call us. We can talk through what it might look like to care for them. And then, the process would go understanding what the need is, how our team can fill it, how many hours per week they need, that kind of thing. And we'll walk them through that entire process.
Yeah, it makes it really easy. And Marcus, before I let you go, is there anything else that you think that people need to know about caregiving, about, everything that's happening in this space? I know it's a really hot button topic right now.
Yeah, it's a very confusing space. There's the hospital, you've got their doctor, you probably have specialists that you're working with. There's a lot to understand and learn. So take a breath. It's very stressful. It is very hard. You're not alone. There are a lot of people that really care about you and want to help you along the way. I know I'm not the only company that does this. There's a lot of companies that really care about people. So take a breath. You're doing a great job caring for mom and dad, grandma and grandpa. Slow down. And there are a lot of organizations out there that want to help and really do care about your mom and dad, your grandma and your grandfather. Just encourage them. It's a tough journey. It's a tough season of life. But there's a lot of people out there and there's a lot of help that they can get. So.
Yeah. Well, I absolutely love that. No other final thoughts before I let you go, because that is a perfect way to close it. But Marcus, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks so much for having me on. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thank you to our Investors Circle members. Our Investors Circle members help us promote and support the development of strong businesses and a vibrant economy in the Northern Kentucky region. Thank you to all of these members for their investment, which will help the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce in our mission to develop and grow a thriving business community. Northern Kentucky needs tailored solutions to address our housing shortage. Home for All, Northern Kentucky Housing Strategies, explores how we can retain young adults, help older residents downsize or age in place, and ensure new neighbors have housing options that fit their lives. Dive into the report at housingNKY.org. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed hearing from this week's guests. Like Katie and Ryan talked about, the Business Council Annual Dinner Celebration is happening on Thursday, May 21st. We will celebrate the successes and achievements over the past year for the business councils in Erlanger, Florence, Fort Thomas, and Newport. We encourage you to get your tickets now at nkychamber.com/events. Thank you once again to our podcast sponsor, CKREU, Google and Amazon advertising experts. And finally, if you're a member who would like to be featured on the podcast, or if you're someone who is interested in joining the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, please reach out to Lynn Ablin. You can find her contact information on the screen if you're a viewer, and our listeners can find that at nkychamber.com/staff. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll talk to you next week.